Hi guys, very good afternoon to you. And in this video number 252, I'm going to actually answer, I'm going to give a solution to one of the questions asked by Ruchika, who is the subscriber who is actually associated with the channel. And in this video, we're going to talk actually how to paste the Excel range in the Outlook email. So if you want to send any email as a snapshot, right? So in this, the question actually, I can read out the question as well. So this is what actually 3 days ago she commented on the channel that, hi Ajay, thanks for uploading a video. And this is a video I believe which is the how to automatically set up the time to send the specific emails, right? I'm going to tell you about that if you're watching the channel for the first time and if you don't have any idea that what exactly we do in this channel. So first of all, let me just read out this question. And she's saying actually, thanks for uploading a video. It is so interesting to see the power of VBA. Indeed, VBA is actually a very strong, very powerful programming. Would you also be would you also please let me know if there is a way to paste the content of the Excel too in the body of the email, then attaching, right? So this is what exactly we're going to learn in this video today. How to paste the snapshot. For example, this is the Excel, and what I want to do is when I want to draft the email, in the Outlook, this should go there as a snapshot, not as an attachment, guys, because on the attachment we have already uploaded so many videos. Now for those who are watching the channel for the first time, welcome to my channel. And guys, this channel is dedicated for all those people who wants to really do good in the Excel VBA, MS Access and Access VBA, right? And we have covered almost all the topics, be it Excel VBA, MS Access, VBA, and day by day I'm uploading the videos as well. Whether they are the basic videos, they are the intermediate level videos, advanced level, you will get everything here. What you need to do is you simply need to go to the videos, and in the playlist, when you click on the playlist, this is where you need to click on that. And when you click on the playlist, this is what exactly you would see. We have the videos on the introduction, as you can see. You have the videos on the Access, queries, forms. So we have everything. Okay, so particularly the video which today we are going to talk about, it is all about setting up the connection with the Outlook, right? So we have a lot of videos on that as well, on the different subjects, right? And every time I say this, whenever I receive any email from you regarding the Outlook, I think that every time there is a new requirement comes, and it's really makes the collection so awesome, because we have so many awesome videos here. Let me just scroll it up and let me show you what exactly, this is the one. 14 videos you can see here. Just click on this and you will find all those amazing 14 videos. There I have talked about really, from the scratch as well. Like the videos which you can see 1992, they are very old video, and look at this 56 video, long time back, maybe a year back, So we have a lot of videos here. Just go ahead if you want to be mastering the Outlook part, right? So in this video, we're going to talk how to send the snapshot, and let us quickly start now. So this is what exactly I have a plan. Let me send this as a snapshot. Okay. Now, before I make the program, what exactly we want to do? First of all, we'll set up the range in the VBA, and we say that the range should be equals to A1 to D14, because that is what we want to paste it. What is the next thing we want to do? The next thing is very interesting. You won't even, imagine that here we are going to create a chart, right? To send this as a snapshot, I'm going to create a chart. I'm going to insert a chart, the blank chart, totally blank chart, right? And in that blank chart, I'm going to tell you the technique that how to transfer this range over there, how to export this range, I would say, how to export this range as a snapshot in that chart, right? And then we are going to, once that chart will have this range, as a snapshot, it is going to be saved as a any image, you can say PNG image or GIF image, any image you want to set it up, right? And then using some HTML coding, we are going to actually use that. We're going to paste that snapshot on the Outlook body. Okay, so we're going to use also the HTML. It's a one-line code actually, so don't worry about it. I have a little bit knowledge, in fact good, basic knowledge about the HTML, but that's fine. If you don't know it, it's just a one line which we will write, and it is very simple, and I'll just explain you there, right? Let's go ahead and first of all, let's do one thing. So as I said, first of all, you define the range. So I'm going to define the range. So there we go. So snapshot, I'm going to write it snapshot Outlook. Okay, Okay, I'm sorry. All right, now the first thing which you will do, I should have told you this, go to the tools and the reference and on your library, which is called Microsoft Outlook 16.0. Now this library, I have repeated this several times. 14 videos I told you that we have on the Outlook, and in the 14 videos I have always said that you got to on this library first, right? But if you don't have any idea about it, how to on this, just press M and then you need to scroll it down, guys, and find it out where you have the Microsoft Outlook coming. So these are all the libraries, these are all the references which are installed on your, which comes with your this Office installation. So you will find all these lot of libraries. You just need to find this Outlook, Microsoft Outlook, and then whatever the version you have, right? I have already checkmarked it, but for you need to checkmark like this, not this one of course, but this is what, when you checkmark this and okay, this would come on the top, Microsoft Outlook 16.0 because I'm using Office 2016. In your case, if you're using 2013, you would see here a different version of I think 15.0 is the version, and then if you have a 2010, you would see 14.0, right? But that really doesn't matter. Just on this, check mark this, right? Put a check on this, and now we are going to use the Outlook classes, right? So the first thing which I want to do is I want to simply create a range. I want to define the range, right? So how I'm going to actually define the range? So first of all, I create a variable called WP as this workbook. Okay, this workbook means that I'm going to deal with this workbook where I'm going to write this code, which is a part of this module 3, and module 3 of course is a part of the workbook which is called 11.xlsm, right? So set WP, this is how you define it, this workbook. Okay, and then the next thing which we want to do is I will go ahead and define the worksheet, which worksheet I want. So I'm going to say that the part of this workbook and the sheet name is, remember now WP is going to be considered as this workbook, right? So you can directly write this WP sheets and then whatever the sheet name you have, right? So I have a sheet name here called A. You can see here, right? The sheet name is A, so I just write here A. Now what is the benefit of this? In the future, if I want to deal with this sheet, I can directly write WS, right? And the last thing, my range, RNG, I declare it as range, and I'm going to define it as a range class, and you define it range, set RNG as now WS dot range. Okay, now you need to provide the range which belongs to WS, and WS, you know that it actually belongs to the sheet A. Perfect, right? So what is the range? The range is A1 to, so I'm going to write here A1 colon D14, I guess. Yeah, I think D14. Okay, there we go. Now the range is defined. Now once the range is defined, you can copy it and paste it, right? Obviously. Now we will not copy it as of now. What we will do, we will create a one more workbook where we're going to insert the chart. So this is how you're going to do workbooks.add. I hope you know that, right? Just an additional workbook is going to be added. This workbooks.add will add the new workbook. Okay, and then in the new workbook, what I want to do is I want to create the chart. I want to add the chart, the blank chart, right? Now how you add the chart, this is the line which I'm going to tell you. By the way, I have also a couple of 3-4 videos on the charts in the VBA. So if you want to go if you want to watch those videos, how to loop around the charts, how to delete the charts, how to retrieve the information of the charts message wise, all that stuff. So that the videos are there, just go and watch, guys, right? Anything you didn't understand or anything you want me to add it, you can always leave your comment. I will work on that, I promise, right? So now I want to add the chart, right? So in this case now, after how I'm going to add the chart, I simply define any variable ch as chart. Okay, and this is how you add the chart. Set ch charts.add, right? So this is going to add the chart. This will add the chart in that new workbook, right? Now once the chart is added, now what is the plan? The plan is I'm actually going to copy the range and I'm going to export it on that chart. Okay, but before I do that, there are a couple of things which we need to do. Now once the chart is added, let me show you actually. Let me just run this code. There we go. You see that a new workbook is added in the background. Okay, so we got the new workbook added, and this line, when I execute, you see that a chart is inserted. Now this is a chart and it is totally blank, right? And we just need the blank chart, right? As you can see here. Now we need to move this chart to the sheet 1, obviously, because this is a new sheet which inserted. If you want to, I hope you know that if you want to create a chart immediately, using you don't want to use this insert and the chart options, right? Here we have that option, so you can also press Alt F11 and you see that immediately your chart will be created on the another sheet, right? But we want to remove it. We want to actually move it, not remove it. So I want to move it to the sheet once. And so what I'm going to do, this is how you define location, give the location. So the location would be on the new sheet or object. So I simply use the Excel location as object, and where I want to move, I want to write the sheet name. So I'm going to write here sheet 1, and this chart now should move to the sheet 1. Okay, let me just pull it back, this yellow one error. Okay, arrow, sorry, not the error, but I'm going to click on the F8, and there we go. You see that the chart is moved. The chart is moved and we are done. Now this chart is moved. Now we would like to export that range in this chart, right? So how are you going to do that? That is very interesting. So you have already defined your range. You can see here, right? You have already defined this RNG, which is your A1 to D14. So what you will do, you will simply copy it. You can copy the range, obviously, right? That's why you have defined it as a RNG. Now the next thing which you want to do is on this chart, I want to paste it. I copied it. Okay, and one more thing, when you have copied it, you can do one thing. You can actually copy this as a picture and then define it as a screen, and then maybe bitmap or whatever you want. So I keep it, let's say, the bitmap, right? Use this one. Okay, now once you have done that, it is copied as a picture. We are going to paste this on the chart, and this is how you write ch.paste. Now what is ch? You know that ch is your actually the chart which you have activated, right? So now let's go ahead and let's see that if we are able to do that. And I'm going to simply pull this back. Okay, this line. Okay, let's copy this and let's paste this. Automation error. So it's giving you some error, but not a problem. Let me first of all rerun the code. And one more thing I want to tell you guys. Before we do that, I mean, when you're actually going to, move this chart, I want to make this my active chart. Okay, this is how you write active chart. Okay, and one more thing, we will like to give this chart a name as well. So name, I'm going to give this name as active chart. This is how you write actually the chart objects. Or you can simply write active chart as well, active chart dot parent and dot name. Okay, I'm going to give it a name called, let's say, Ajay. The chart name will have this, it's going to have a name called Ajay, and I'm going to paste that. And now once it is pasted, let's see if we can paste it. So let's go ahead and run the code first of all. So this is the code, and let me just move it up. There we go. And all set. Let me remove these extra spaces so that you can see the code. Okay, perfect. Okay, now let's just run this code. Okay, now as you know that workbook is added, we got the chart in the location in the new sheet. It is going to be moved to the active sheet, which is sheet 1. Okay, because this will always be sheet 1. You are inserting a new workbook, and whenever you insert any new workbook in the Excel, it always has a name called sheet 1. So there is no doubt in that. You don't have to change it, right? Now you defined your set ch equals to active chart. Right now you can see that here in the name box, I have a chart name called chart 1. But the moment I execute this line, you see that this changed to Ajay. So now my chart has a name called Ajay. And now I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this. Have a look, guys. This is so wonderful. I copied the range. Range, you know what range you have copied. So if you go back to your this 11.1, you see that this actually a whole portion is copied, and the line which you have written here ch.paste, it has pasted that in this chart, right? Have a look this. This is how the range is pasted, right? Now the problem is that because your range is different, it has a different size, height and width, and your chart has a different height and width. So this really looks very awkward if you just copy this and send it, as a snapshot in your Outlook email. So we have a solution for that. What we can do, we can resize the chart according to the range, right? So whatever range you have, the height and the width, we can set everything. Okay, so for that, what we can do is before we paste actually this range, okay, we can do one thing. We can simply write here 2 lines, and the lines would be how do you define the charts? I mean, if you want to give the chart height and width, so this is how you write chart objects. In this class, in this library, actually you have all those the things. Using this chart objects, you can actually access a particular chart, right? Now in this case, we have a chart which is called Ajay, and that is why I have created a name. right? Otherwise there was no need to create the chart. But I do not know, anytime whenever you run the chart, whenever you insert a chart name can be anything, right? So I'm not sure about that, so it's better to give a name, and it is always going to be a Ajay in my case, right? So this is how you write. Now what I will do, I will say that here Ajay in the chart objects, right? So chart, basically first you have a bigger class, the bigger object, which is a chart object, and then in the chart objects you have then further lot of other things like the charts, and then further after the charts you have the layout, you have so many other things, right? So this is how you define. And now if I write this height, let's say height, what is the height of my this chart called Ajay, which is a part of my chart object. Now the height would be of my range height. Okay, so this is going to be my code, and I copy this and I'm going to paste this here as well. And so whatever the width I have for the range, so this will help me, in your setting up this range exactly to the same height in the column of my chart. That is why we are doing it. Well, I'm going to run it and you would understand it. Okay, so this is how we're going to do the things. And all right, sorry, this is the module 1. Okay, now I guess we can run this code again. Let me close this new workbook. And one more thing, you fix it with the active sheet dot chart object. Okay, in the active sheet, whatever the active sheet we will have. So let's go ahead and run this code, and let me increase the height of this program also. Okay, perfect. Now let us run the code. There we go. A new workbook is added. You can see in the background, right? We got the new workbook, we got the chart. Now the chart is going to be moved to the sheet 1. We got the chart as a blank, of course. This is my active chart. You need to write this, and the name, you can see that it's chart 1, right? So I guess every time you insert the chart, it will always be chart 1. There's no doubt, because every time the new workbook will be added, and in the new workbook a chart will have definitely this chart 1 name. But still I have created it, so that's an additional information for you. So I given it name, and you can see that now the chart is known as Ajay. Okay, now this has to be resized. So let's have a look here. You can see that in the background there are some changes happen. Maybe we are not able to see that, but you can see, look at this, the range is shrinked, right? The moment now I copy this range and paste it here, wow, perfect. Now it has actually resized itself. So nice. Now this looks like a neat and clean, the chart. So what I did actually, let me repeat this, because I know some of you must be wondering that what is this line meant for, right? Now see, range height is very simple, because every range has a height and a width, because you're after all dealing with the cells, right? So what we have said, that whatever the range and the height it has, okay, that should be equivalent to my chart, because when the chart gets inserted, it will have a different dimensions, right? So I have given a name to my chart as Ajay. You can give it whatever, right? Or if you want to leave it as chart 1, that's fine, but you need to then change here. You need to write here Ajay chart 1. Okay, but this is the line. This line you need to write it like this only, because basically when I want to deal with the charts, when I want to resize the charts, I want to give some height, width, all the dimensions, then you refer the charts by their name, and this is how it follows. In the active sheet you have a chart objects. Within the chart objects, which chart actually you are talking is, you write the name of the chart. So this is how the things happen. Okay, now I can run this again. Let me quickly run this. If you want to again see, let's go ahead and let's close this book 6, and just one more time I'm going to run it. So there we go, the chart is added. You can see in the background. Now I'm going to show you, look at this. This is now really, it has a different width. So the moment I run this, these lines now, the height and the width, you see that it is actually resizing, right? So, and then we are copying the range, Excel screen bitmap, and we are pasting. Now the next part is how to send this in the form of email, right? So we'll write here function email send. That's it, right? Create one more macro here, and I'm just going to write this macro. Obviously this is a very advanced level of VBA, so I hope that you know that why I'm calling here, why I'm using the calling word, right? But any doubts, please go ahead and watch all the VBA introduction, VBA loops, VBA if functions from the very basic level. We have everything for you guys, right? Okay, All right, so there we go. Now I have got this email sent. Now here you need to set up this. Now for those who are quite familiar with me with this Outlook series where we have uploaded 14 videos, then they know that it is so easy, right? So I'm just going to write simply this code because I'm not going to waste the time. I simply write this outlook.application. If you want to understand it, please watch all those 90, 85, 92 number of the videos. They have explained a lot actually what are all these, the classes, why we actually use them, what is the purpose of it, right? But here I'm going to write it simply outlook.application because this is the 15th video on this Outlook series. So I hope that everybody is now understand that, at least people who are associated with channel, they understand the concept of it, right? Okay, and anyways, I mean, if you're new, then you can go there and check out those videos, and any doubts you can ask me. All right, so mail item also I'm going to define it. I'm again going to use the Outlook mail item. This is the class which we use to send the emails because I want to send the email as well. So this is how I'm going to write this create item, and the create item I'm going to write here mail item, right? Now once you are through with this is all fine, right? We have set up the Outlook and we have set up the email also. This mail is going to help us in sending out the email. But what is the next thing you want to do? The next thing you want to do is obviously you need to send the email or display the email. You want to add the subject, you want to add so many things, right? But the important point is how you actually going to attach the snapshot. Okay, so for that what we need to do, first of all, I'll just write here with my mail and with. Okay, so let's say you want to send it to who? You want to send it to me. Let's say this is the ID you want to send it. Okay, what is the next thing you want to do? Subject, you can write whatever the subject you want to write. So I just simply write hello. Okay, so this is fine. You want to attach the attachment, you can add the attachment as well. I'm not going to do that. If you want to have a look on that, you can go ahead and watch the rest of the videos. There we have talked a lot. The important point is I want to actually paste this image in the body part. So this is how you write HTML body, right? In the HTML body, now you need to write one syntax, which is actually the HTML line, right? So I want to do what I want to do is this is what I will write: image source equals to, and then in the single quotes I'm going to write where I'm going to save this file. Okay, the image, I haven't saved the image, I will be telling you. So let me keep that name called PNG. Okay, again single quote, cover this, and then these are the closing tags. This is the basically actually the HTML. This is how you write the HTML. If you know the HTML, then you must be knowing what I'm doing here, right? It's quite simple actually. So you put it in within the quotes. You can find this code in the net also, though it is a little difficult. But if you go to any web designing part, I mean, if you search by this, what is the image source code for this HTML, you would find that this is the way they attach the images. Now image source is E drive. I have given this in the E drive, so I have to also send that snapshot which I have captured here, to my E drive, right? So what I will do here, before I call it, I will export my chart because this is all about the chart. So I'm going to export it. Okay, where I'm going to export it, I'm going to export it in the E drive, and I'm going to write the same name, abc.png. PNG as image, right? You can give the JPG as well, that's fine. Okay, so now this is going to be exported. Now before I run this code, let me quickly run this. Let me press F5 and let's have a look. So let me just go ahead and click here. All right, now let's have a look in the E drive. Let me reset the code, I don't need it now. So we want to see if in the E drive we have saved this and how it looks like actually. So click on this, and there we go in the E drive, and you can see that the image is there, right? So I double click on this and let's have a look how it is going to look like. So it is opening actually. Yeah, there we go, perfect, right? So this is the image which I want to add it in my HTML body. Okay, there we go. And so I guess we are good to go with this. This is the code, this is how it looks like. And let me further go ahead and backspace it, and yeah, so this is the HTML body is a new code for you. Okay, so that's fine, I believe. And we can run this code now. Let me quickly run the code. So first you need to go here and you need to click here, and before I do that, I just want to close the book 7 and close the book 8 as well, because we want to start from the scratch and the new workbook is going to be inserted. I hit on this and there is one mistake which I did, which is that I didn't display the email. So how will you come to know? All right, so my bad. I should have written here dot display. Okay, if you want to send the email without having it displayed, which I will not recommend, you can use dot send as well. Okay, just write the dot send. It is going to send the email. So I'm not going to use that actually. So I'm going to hit on this now, the tab, and let's have a look here. Let me run this. Okay, and let's see if the Outlook is going to be opened or not. Oh, there we go, guys. As you can see that the picture is pasted so nice, and you know, it has exactly the same width and the height, you know, so this is perfect, right? This is an absolutely new thing. Thank you so much, Ruchi, for this great question. And now one more thing I want to do is let's do this little hit and trial as well here. Why don't we just go ahead and you know, change this range. So I just go ahead here and I'm going to actually insert this, copy this and paste it here. Let's see if now we are able to do this or not. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this and paste it here. All right, now one thing which you need to do, because you have to define a range, so you have to change the range here. Now it should be G14. Okay, G14. So this is how you can do it. Now I'm going to run this code again and let's have a look. So there we go. And yeah, so that's it. Perfect, right? Now this is so good. Now one more thing I want to tell you, because we are talking about the range. Now what if you really don't want this, that every time you change the range here, you know, you don't want to do that. Okay, you don't want to do this. If your range changes tomorrow, let's say I have one more header, which is this, then there is an option, guys. There's a wonderful option. What you can do is you can tell your user that please select the range before you go ahead, and instead of this line you can do write set range equals to selection. That's it. Okay, and comment this line. This line is not required now. Now this means that whatever he selects, that will be sent out as a range. Now for example, I select this and now I'm going to click on this macro. I can create the button as well here, by the way. I can just go ahead and insert on the button. Okay, so this actually, I really love, you know, all the videos on the Outlook, because the questions are so fabulous and every time we make something different. Trust me, I mean, if you have seen all those videos, you must be agree with me, because we have actually created a lot of things in the Outlook. Every time different question, every time different thing, and you know, it's amazing. All right, so I guess email D is the one. Oh, what is the macro? Yeah, snapshot Outlook, I think that's the one I've created. And if you're hearing some noise in the background, I really, you know, please pardon me for that, because it's actually the festival season here. So you know, a lot of actually things are going on. All right, so yeah, so we have created this. Now let me just hit on this. Now this is my snapshot. I have selected this, I hit on this, and now this should be, as you know, as expected, it has captured this. This is wonderful, very powerful, right? So again, let me run this again and I change the selection now. So I'm going to select this one now, maybe complete one. Okay, and now let's send this. Now you see, you have given the control to the user that select whatever he wants to select, and it is going to send by simply changing one line. It's amazing. VBA is so amazing, right? As you rightly said, Ruchika, that you know, this is so fun to work. So now this is the line I was talking about. This is the line I have replaced it with selection, right? But now in this case, remember, if your user forgets to select the range, then it will create a problem, right? For example, sometimes it happens, let's say they just directly go here and there is no selection. You have just selected one cell, blank cell, and you know, click on this, and then what would you see in return? You won't see anything, right? You would see that cell, the only cell which you have selected. So there are a number of ways of doing it. You can put the message box in, you know, in the beginning. What you can write here, that message box, and you write here, have you selected the range, you know, and then you can give the message box yes and no. You can give this VB yes and no. These two buttons you can give. Okay, now if the answer of this message box is going to be let's say you declare this in the y equals to message box, and you need to put the brackets here. Okay, so if your y has an answer called VB yes, VB no, let's say, then what should happen, then the message box should come message box that please try again. Okay, and you can exit from the exit sub, so the macro will stop. Else nothing, just move forward. You know, if he's going to select no, yes, I mean if you have selected the range, so here you define y. Okay, this is how you can do it. Now let's see that how it is going to work. So I mean you can keep on adding the things. The basic idea was to, you know, the important thing was to actually how to use this HTML tag, and of course how to create the chart, and you know how beautifully we have captured the range and exported in the chart. This is really awesome, isn't it? And I just love this line. You know, I was actually, to be very honest, I never knew about this lines, you know, because but when I was making this code, I was really struggling because the chart size was different, the range size was different, and then, you know, spent a couple of hours on the Google and I got to know this. Really amazing. Okay, now let me run this. So let's run this. Suppose I haven't selected any range and I just clicked. I have the option now. Okay, so have you selected the range? No, I haven't selected, so just no, and there we go. Please try again, and the macro will stop. Exit sub, nothing will happen, right? But at the same time, if let's say I have selected the range, let's say this is the range I have selected, and now yes, I have selected the range, of course, so the macro will run. The macro is going to run, and there we go, guys. It's so simple, right? It's awesome, right? Alright, so in this way you can play around with this, and you can do a lot of stuff, right? And any questions you have, just let me know about it. This is basically your code, and you can pause the video and you can see that the entire code. Okay, so I'll see you with the next time with some more exciting stuff. Till then, you keep writing and keep your sharing this channel with the others. And guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then please do subscribe to the channel as well and be a part of this awesome learning. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye bye.